Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. This is Nuzhat Sana. I hope you all are doing very well. And today we'll be discussing the most important current affairs for 19th of November 2024. On the screen you can see some important keywords and it would be our today's topic of discussion. For example, we'll be talking about the Jhiri-Mela. After that, we will see Sumi-Naga-Tribe is found in which Indian state. Then further we will see Sahakar-Kisan-Kalyan-Yojana. Then we will talk about National Press Day. After that, we will see FISU-World-University-Championship. What are some of the important points regarding this championship? Then further we will see Women's World Billiards Championship. Then we will talk about Chang 6 mission, from which country it belonged to and why it came into news. And at last we will talk about Indian Coast Guard. Okay. So now without taking any further time, let's get started. The very first question is, the Jhiri-Mela is held annually in which state or the union territory? The correct answer is A option, Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. This is the 10-day festival that recently started in Jammu and it celebrated the sacrifice of Baba Jito, who was a 16th century Dogra hero and he was a Brahmin farmer. Also, he died fighting the injustice. He promoted different values like unity, honesty and courage. Okay. His cultural event promotes the values like unity and honesty, and this festival attracted nearly 20 lakh visitors. It serves as a platform for local craftsmen and it showcases the rich heritage of Jammu while providing the information on the government schemes for the farmers. Okay. So you have to remember that Jhiri-Mela is held annually in Jammu and Kashmir. What questions you can be asked regarding this Jhiri-Mela? First of all, which language primarily represents the Dogra culture? It is the Dongri language. And what dance form is popular in Dogra weddings? It is the Kud dance. Okay. In the next slide, we will be talking about some important art and culture related current affairs. The first question is, Purana Killa was built on the banks of which river? So this Killa was built on the banks of Yamuna river. Vishnupad temple is located in which Indian state? This temple lies in Bihar. What are geoglyphs and petroglyphs recently seen in the news? These are the ancient art forms. Recently, archaeologists from Kerala University unearthed a 5,200-year-old Harappan settlement at which place? This place is Patta Beth in Gujarat. Gorsam Kora Festival 2024 is celebrated in which Indian state? This festival is celebrated in Arunachal Pradesh. Recently, scientists have discovered over 300 new Nazca lines in which country? These new Nazca lines have been found to be in Peru. Sindhu Durg Fort is associated with which historical personality? Answer is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay. Question number 2 is, the Sumi-Naga-Tribe is predominantly found in which Indian state? First of all, we will see why Sumi-Naga-Tribe came into news, because recently they have celebrated a festival named as Ahuna and it is a post-harvest festival. The Sumi is a major tribe that live in Nagaland and mainly they reside in central and southern regions. So Sumis are known for their extensive village settlements, which is a unique feature among the Naga tribes. And they practiced head hunting before converting to Christianity through missionaries. And the Sumi language is Tibeto-Burman and their main festivals are two. The first one is Tuluni and second one is Ahuna. Okay, Ahuna is celebrated during the harvest season, giving thanks and praying for good fortune, and Tuluni marks the arrival of new crops with prayers for last year's bountiful harvest. Okay. So we have to remember that Sumi-Naga-Tribe is predominantly found in the state of Nagaland. Fine. Talking about these two festivals, Ahuna and Tuluni, you can be asked that which season does the Ahuna festival coincide with in the Sumi-Naga calendar? It is the harvest season. And what is the primary purpose of Ahuna festival for the Sumi-Naga people? So basic purpose is to give thanks and pray for good fortune. And which major Sumi festival marks the consumption of the newly harvested rice beer? It is a Tuluni festival, right? And if you talk about the state Nagaland, which Indian state hosts the famous Hornbill festival? It is Nagaland. Don't forget that Hornbill festival is celebrated in the state of Nagaland, but Pakke Paga Hornbill Festival is celebrated in Arunachal Pradesh. Both are two different events, okay? And what is the capital city of Nagaland? It is Kohima. Also, which mountain range largely runs through Nagaland, affecting its geography? It is the Patkal range. Fine. In the next slide, we will be talking about some important environment and biodiversity related news. The first one here is, which city has secured the first position in the Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan 2024? This is the city of Surat. Bhim river is a tributary of which river? It is the tributary of Krishna river. Recently, which country has launched the orangutan diplomacy to save the critically endangered species? This is the country Malaysia. What is impatiens neouncinata, recently seen in the news? What is this? It is a kind of balsam plant. Recently, the yellow-legged button quail bird was recently spotted in which Indian state? This bird was spotted in Gujarat. What is Senna spectabilis, recently seen in the news? What is it? It is a highly invasive tree. Jhiri-Mela National Park, recently seen in the news due to an antelope-like mammal. Mainland Sero is located in which Indian state? Jhiri-Mela National Park lies in Assam. Okay. Question number 3 is, what is the name of the new scheme introduced by Australia government to allow the talented young people from India to work in their country? This is option number C, MATES scheme. Full form is Mobility Arrangement for Talented Early Professional Scheme. Australia has recently launched the MATES scheme, where they are offering Indian university graduates and early professionals the chance to work in Australia for up to 2 years. And this scheme is part of MMPA, means Migration and Mobility Partnership Arrangement in between India and Australia. MATES opens in December for applicants who are aged 30 or younger with an eligible degree in different fields like for example renewable energy, artificial intelligence, fintech and agri-tech. So applicants must have proficient English and they must have graduated within 2 years from top Indian universities, and the program starts with 3,000 places annually and participants can bring the dependents with work rights. Okay. So MATES scheme has been launched by the Australian government to allow the talented young people from India to work in their country, and the full form of MATES is Mobility Arrangement for Talented Early Professional Scheme, right? Now if you talk about the renewable energy, what is the largest type of renewable energy that contributes to global electricity production? It is the hydropower. And which device is used to convert the light energy into electrical energy in the solar panels? This is the photovoltaic cell. Okay. In the next slide, we will be talking about important government schemes that were in news. The first question is, what is the primary objective of the Scheme for Care and Support to Victims recently seen in the news? So basic objective of this scheme is to offer integrated support and assistance to minor pregnant girl child victims. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana recently completed 4 years of implementation, was launched in which year? So recently this scheme has completed its 4 years of implementation and it was launched in 2020. Namaste scheme is related to which group of workers? This scheme is associated with sanitation workers. Nirman Shramik Mrityu Evam Divyang Sahayata Yojana is associated with which Indian state? Answer here is Chhattisgarh. Recently, which state government has announced a massive transfer of funds under the Krishak Unnati Yojana? This state is Chhattisgarh again. Mukhyamantri Harit Vikas Chhatravritti Yojana is launched by which Indian state? This scheme is launched by Himachal Pradesh government. Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is a health coverage scheme for which age group? Answer is all the individuals who are age 70 and above. Okay. Now question number 4 is, which state government has launched the Sahakar-Kisan-Kalyan-Yojana to boost farm productivity and increase the farmers' income? The correct answer is D option, Rajasthan. Rajasthan has launched the Sahakar-Kisan-Kalyan-Yojana, which is a kind of an interest subvention scheme for long-term cooperative loans, and this scheme aims to boost the farm productivity and increase the farmers' income. Farmers can have access the loans through primary cooperative land development banks and central cooperative banks in Rajasthan, and the scheme rewards timely repayment with interest subsidies, 7% for agricultural loans and 5% for non-agricultural loans. The loans support projects like tube well deepening, drip irrigation and labelling. greenhouses, solar installation, vermicomposting, silkworm rearing, and beekeeping like project. Okay. So Sahakar-Kisan-Kalyan-Yojana has been launched by Rajasthan government. Purpose is to boost the farm productivity and increase the farmers' income. Okay. Now, if you talk about the state Rajasthan, which desert in Rajasthan is known as the Great Indian Desert? It is the Thar Desert. Then, which UNESCO World Heritage Site is located in Rajasthan and it is very famous for its step well? It is the Chand Baroi. Okay. Now, in the next slide, we will be talking about some national news. The first question is, recently the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, means NCPCR, declared the mica mines of which state as child labor free? So they have declared the mica mines of Jharkhand as the child labor free mines. Which city has been proposed for the establishment of an integrated manufacturing cluster in Bihar? This is the city of Gaya in Bihar. Recently, which state has decided to implement the central government's Smart PDS scheme? This is the state Kerala. Which ministry recently launched the National Apprenticeship and Training Scheme 2.0 portal? This portal has been launched by Education Ministry. According to CEA, which state has emerged as the leading state in terms of the addition of transmission lines by state transmission utilities in financial year 24? This state is UP. Which state recently launched a new governance model named as Co-District Initiative? This is the initiative of Assam. Which government organizations recently involved in the Memorandum of Understanding for providing the e-migrate services through Common Service Center? Answer here is Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Electronics and IT, CSE E-Governance Services India Limited. Okay. Question number 5 is, which day is observed as National Press Day every year? So National Press Day is celebrated every year on 16th of November in India, and this day highlights the importance of press in democracy, and the press is called as the fourth pillar of democracy for its role in informing the public and holding the power accountable. So this day commemorates the duty of press to report truthfully and ethically, promoting the transparency and democracy. This day was established by Press Council of India in 1966, and National Press Day emphasizes the press freedom and responsibility. This year the theme is Changing Nature of the Press, with the official event in Delhi, and it is inaugurated by Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw. Okay, so two things are important. National Press Day is observed every year on 16th of November, and this year the theme is Changing Nature of the Press. Okay. Now, if we talk about the Press Council of India, in which year was the Press Council of India re-established after its original dissolution? This is the year 1979, and under which act was the Press Council of India established? So it was established under Press Council Act of 1978. In the next slide, we'll be talking about some important days and events. The first question is, what is the theme of World Migratory Bird Day 2024? The theme is Protect Insects, Protect Birds. What is the theme of World Press Freedom Day 2024? The theme is A Press for the Planet, Journalism in the Face of the Environmental Crisis. Which day is observed as World Food Day? This is observed on 16th of October every year. Recently, where was the exercise Cyber Suraksha 2024 held? It was held in New Delhi. Which day is celebrated as World Sparrow Day every year? This is 20th of March. Which day is celebrated as World Students Day annually? Answer is 15th of October. Recently, where was the 20th edition of Maritime State Development Council meeting held? This meeting took place in Goa. Okay. Question number 6 is, which state government has launched Come and Install Solar Power Projects initiative to promote the solar energy? This is the state Himachal Pradesh. The government of Himachal Pradesh is launching the Come and Install Solar Power Projects initiative to promote the solar energy, and this initiative aims to fast track the approvals and simplify the procedures for setting up the solar project. So it encourages the youth and the entrepreneurs to invest in solar energy projects, providing necessary assistance, and the solar projects will help in transforming the Himachal Pradesh into a green energy state so as to boost the economic growth and creating the employment. So 300 megawatt of solar projects have been allocated to the private sector, with 62 megawatt operational and 32 megawatt in the government sector. Fine. So come and install solar power project initiative has been launched by Himachal Pradesh government to promote the solar energy. Now, which country was the top producer of solar power in 2022? This is the country China. And what is the photovoltaic effect? So it is a process of conversion of sunlight into electricity using the semiconductor materials, right? If you talk about the state Himachal Pradesh, what is the capital city? Shimla. And which river is considered the lifeline of Himachal Pradesh? It is the Beas river. Okay. In the next slide, we'll be talking about some important science and technology related news. The first question is, what is Dictyostelium discoideum, recently seen in the news? It is a kind of amoeba. What is VA-RIS-Net 50, recently seen in the news? It is a artificial intelligence tool that can predict the fatal heart rhythm. What is Indra application, recently seen in the news? This application disseminates the weather related information and forecast. Recently, what does WHO term pathogens that transmit through air? WHO called these type of pathogens as infectious respiratory particles. Gaia spacecraft was launched by which space agency? Answer is ESA, European Space Agency. BPAL regimen is a type of treatment used for which disease? So it is used to treat TB. What is Gliese 12b, recently seen in the news? Answer is Earth-sized exoplanet. Okay. Question number 7 is, where was the FISU-World-University-Championship shooting 2024 held? The correct answer here is New Delhi. A option is the right answer. And Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies hosted the FISU-World-University-Championship shooting 2024. This event took place from 9th to 13th of November at the Dr. Karni Singh shooting range in Delhi. And India finished the FISU World University Championship shooting with a total of 24 medals, and the segregation is like 9 gold, 9 silver and 6 bronze. Fine. So athletes from 23 countries participated here in various shooting discipline, and the FISU flag was handed over to the organizing committee of Chinese Taipei, who are the next host of this championship. International University Sports Federation governs the international competitions for student athletes who are aged between 17 to 25 years. Okay. So FISU World University Championship shooting 2024 was held in New Delhi. In the next slide, we'll be talking about some sport related current affairs. The first question is, which Indian weightlifter won the bronze medal in the men's 55 kgs event at the IWF Junior World Weightlifting Championships 2024? This is Dhanush Loganathan. What is the primary aim of Khelo India Rising Talent Identification Program? Means what is the aim of Kirti program? Recently seen in the news. Basic objective is to hunt talent and use the sports as a tool to curb the addiction towards a drug. Where was the world's highest enduro mountain biking race? Monduro 4.0 started. So it started in Tawang in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Recently, which country's women's team clinched the gold medal in the Badminton Asia Team Championship? This is the country India. Mykolas Alekna, who recently broke the longest standing men's world record in the discus throw, belongs to which country? He is from Lithuania country. Recently, who has made history as the first Indian mixed martial arts fighter to win in the UFC? This is Pooja Tomar. Recently, who was inducted into the World Billiards Museum's Hall of Fame in Shangrao in China? This is Pankaj Advani. Okay. Now, question number 8 is, which Indian player won the Women's World Billiards Championship title 2024 in England? The correct answer here is A option, L Shruti. Okay. L Shruti is from Chennai, and recently she won the Women's World Billiards Championship title, and this championship took place in England. So she has defeated Kirat Bhandal, and at the age of 17 years, Shruti was the lowest ranked among 7 competitors from 5 nations, and she won 5 consecutive matches to claim her first world title. In the finals, she defeated Kirat by 13 points after a 28-point win over her in the group stage. 2 things are important. What is the venue for Women's World Billiards Championship? Answer is England. And from India side, L Shruti has won this title. Okay. In the next slide, we'll be talking about some important summits and conferences. Recently, there was the Financial Action Task Force meeting held. So, FATF meeting took place in Singapore. Where was the 54th edition of DG level BGB BSF border conference held? Answer is Dhaka in Bangladesh. Where was the 28th meeting of the Financial Stability and Development Council held? Answer is New Delhi. Which ministry recently launched the Alliance for Global Good Gender Equity and Equality? This is the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Recently, where was the International Conference on Nuclear Security held? This conference took place in Vienna in Austria. Where was the All India Civil Defence and Home Guards Conference held? Answer is Gandhinagar in the state of Gujarat. Where was the International Conference on Communication and Dissemination of Traditional Knowledge held? The answer is Gurugram in the state of Haryana. Okay. Question number 9 is Chang 6 mission is associated with which country? Answer is B option, China. The Chang 6 mission of China made history by retrieving the first surface samples from the far side of the moon, revealing volcanic rock fragments which date back to 4.2 billion years. And this discovery provides the crucial insights into the moon's geological history and the long periods of volcanic activity, suggesting that the far side was once more dynamic than it is today. Okay. So this mission highlights the differences in composition between the samples from the near and the far sides of the moon. It enhances our understanding of lunar volcanism and its cessation due to the dwindling internal heat sources for over billion of years. Okay, so Chang 6 mission is related to the country China. What questions you can be asked? First of all, what is the primary objective of the Chang 4 mission apart from landing on the moon's far side? So basic objective of Chang 4 mission was to deploy a lunar rover Yutu-2 for surface exploration. This is Chang 4 and this is Chang 6. Okay. Now, which organization spearheaded the Chang 6 lunar mission? It is the CNSA, China National Space Administration. And what is the launch vehicle that was used for Chang 6 mission? It is the Long March 5 rocket. Fine. In the next slide, we'll be talking about some countries that were in news. The first question is, recently which Gulf country launched the first ever Hindi radio broadcast? This is the country Kuwait. Recently, which country has launched a new currency, ZiG? ZiG has been launched by Zimbabwe country. India recently signed a green ammonia export agreement along with which country? This is the country Japan. Recently, pig liver transplanted into a living cancer patient for the first time in which country? Answer is China. Claudia Sheinbaum took oath as the first female president of which country? Answer is Mexico. Recently, India and Russia agreed to increase the bilateral trade to $100 billion by which year? So, answer is 20 and 30. Pars 1 satellite was launched by which country? Answer here is Iran country. Okay. And now the last question says, recently the Indian Coast Guard conducted a regional level pollution response exercise in which port city of Odisha? The correct answer is B option, Paradip Port. Indian Coast Guard held the regional level pollution response exercise in Paradip in the state of Odisha from 12th to 14th of November 2024, and this exercise aimed to improve the oil spill and marine pollution response coordination among the key stakeholders. Activities included, for example, presentations, discussions and a mock drill on board on ICG ship. And here Paradip Port Authority, Dharma Port, Gopalpur Port, BPCL, HPCL, IOCL and Odisha State Pollution Control Board participated in this exercise. The Indian Coast Guard leads the pollution response efforts in India, conducting regular scenario-based training so as to protect the marine environment and coastal communities. Okay, so Indian Coast Guard conducted a regional level pollution response exercise in the Paradip port city of Odisha. Okay. Now in the last slide, we'll be talking about some defense news. The first one here is, Sentinel nuclear missile was developed by which country? This missile belonged to USA. What is the primary purpose of MQ-9B Predator drone recently acquired by India from the US? Basic objective of these drones is surveillance and reconnaissance. What is the role of a defense attached recently seen in the news? Answer is to represent their country's defense establishment in the foreign embassies. What is the main objective of Defense Acquisition Council recently seen in the news? So basic objective is to ensure expeditious procurement of the approved requirements of the armed forces. Section Valley is a territorial dispute in between which two countries? So it is the dispute between India and Pakistan. Recently, India successfully test-fired the vertical launch short-range surface-to-air missile at which place? Answer is Chandipur in the state of Odisha. Which Indian naval sailing vessel recently marked a historic trans-oceanic expedition of nearly 2 months by 2 women officers of the Indian Navy? This is INSV Tarini. Okay. So this is all about today's session. We have completed our 10 current affairs for today along with the revision part. Also, I'd like to request you to please share these videos as much as you can in your friend groups or WhatsApp groups or wherever you can, okay, so that it can enhance our credibility in the market. Okay, now at last I'd like to give you some homework, and today your homework is related to awards and honors. Okay, on the screen you can see 7 questions. Please read each of the questions carefully and try to answer them in the comment section. I'll be waiting for your answers. And now at last, let me again remind you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. So if you want the PDF of the lecture, you can subscribe to that course by paying a very nominal fees. Okay. So now we will be meeting tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.